Welcome to the 614th weekly session of the Jackson Hole Hootenanny, Jackson's acoustic music evening. We have a wonderful lineup of music for you tonight. Before we begin, I'd like to go over just a couple of traditions that we follow with the Hootenanny. The first is that this is a smoke-free environment on both sides of the microphone. Second is that this is a mini concert setting, so we give both the audience and the performers a special opportunity to share the music. The third tradition that we follow, and actually I'm going to get to that in a minute, but in addition to the third tradition that we follow tonight, and we have a truly wonderful collection of individual and group performers, and to top that off at 8 o'clock, the fabulous Flying Carney Brothers are going to play a featured set on this stage. So it should be a wonderful evening. But as virtually always, when he is here, Hootenanny co-founder Bill Briggs begins our evening's festivities. Please join me in giving him a warm welcome.
After many years of trying, we did put together a CD of our music out at the Stagecoach. So it's for sale. But to promote it, I'm doing some of the songs from the CD tonight. And in that, I'm going to have, there's my man. Let's see, is that the TV crawler? All right, I'm going to have a little bit of help here from people who played with us out at the Stagecoach. We have the McCanns and we have Hank Phibbs. Rustic.
Last time I was at Rustic. I've got to be careful with my tapping my feet.
Oh, there ain't no use to sit and cry. Sail away, ladies, sail away, and you'll be an angel by and by. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. So come along, boys, and go with me. Sail away, ladies, sail away, and we'll go back to Tennessee. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Now I've got a home in Tennessee. Sail away, ladies, sail away, and that is where I long to be. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. And if ever I get my new house done, sail away, ladies, sail away, I give my old one to my son. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Now I'd chew my tobacco and spit my juice. Sail away, ladies, sail away. I'd sing some more, but it ain't no use. Sail away, ladies, sail away. I'm only going to do one song because we got quite a lineup of people here.
Hank started you.
I did.
Oh, you did? Well, where are you now? You missed your chance there, bud. Bill Briggs. And actually, I wish I had a new joke because our next performer is not here. Does somebody run up and get Matt Montaigne, who's practicing in the upstairs hallway? Oh. He practiced very swiftly. Okay, good. I don't have a joke anyway. Haven't seen him in quite a while. Must mean the summer is over. Did you have a good summer?
Yeah, great summer.
Yeah? Okay. Well, you never know what this guy's going to turn up. Instruments may sprout from various parts of his body, but it's always fun. Please welcome Matt Montaigne.
Oh, that's the hard way up.
Yeah. Well, hello.
Hello.
Haven't been here for a while. What John was talking about, Judy and I used to be the directors of Teton Valley Ranch Summer Camp, and we still spend a lot of time going over there, even though it's moved locations, and do music with the kids and painting and so on. And I've been doing a lot of painting and sculpture this summer. So I haven't practiced much music, so I have to resort to some songs that I already knew how to do. And this is one of my favorite ones. It's kind of the end of the tourist season, but maybe you can have some appreciation for what this story might have been like. When I was new in town, I just pulled in. I was looking for the house of a dear old friend, but just how to reach the place was still the question. So I found an old man on the street. I said, "Hey friend, excuse me please, but I wonder if you'd give me some directions." Well, I told him the address, and he said, "Yes, I know what you want to do, but I'm a little fuzzy-minded part of the time, so let me think this through." Well, he began to mumble, and he scratched his head, and he snapped his fingers, and he started to said, "It's okay, son, here's all you gotta do. You go north, take a left on South Right Street, go up the hill to Down Avenue, turn left at the corner, a circle square, then right on a left Ridge Lane. Take a left-hand fork at Spooner Road, then Easy Avenue to Hardin Boulevard, turn back to your left on Right Front Street, and it's right down there on your left." Well, I did what he said as best I could, and I thought I was doing pretty darn good. I'd made every turn except the final one. Then I made the last turn of the drive, and I swear I just couldn't believe my eyes. I was right back at the place I started from. And there at the curb, a-feeding the birds with a smile upon his face, stood that old man whose directions began my recent wild goose chase. So I went up to him and I said, "Hey friend, could you give me those directions again?" He said, "Sure, here's all you do to reach the place. You go north, take a left on South Right Street, go up the hill to Down Avenue, turn left at the corner, a circle square, then right on a left Ridge Lane. Take a left-hand fork at Spooner Road, then Easy Avenue to Hardin Boulevard, turn right back to your left, and it's right down there on your left." "Ah, but that's just what I did," I said, "and I wound up back here instead of getting to the place I had in mind. Since I'm right here, all I can say is there must be some other way to get me to the place I tried to find." Well, he said, "No, the way you go is the way I told you to. And if this isn't where you want to be, well, there's nothing I can do. 'Cause that address that I gave to you, well, it's right over there across the street. I can get you to here, but the rest is up to you. You go north, take a left on South Right Street, go up the hill to Down Avenue, turn left at the corner, circle square, right on a left Ridge Lane. Take a left-hand fork at Spooner Road, then Easy Avenue to Hardin Boulevard, turn right back, and you're right back there on your left. Go north, take a left on South Right Street, go up the hill to Down Avenue, turn left at the corner, circle square, then right on a left Ridge Lane. Take a left-hand fork at Spooner Road, then Easy Avenue to Hardin Boulevard, turn right back on your left, and it's right down there on your left." Well, Bill Staines always makes a trip through Jackson. I think he's playing up at Dornan's on October 10th. If you haven't heard Bill, go hear him. He comes through every year from New Hampshire. He's been doing it for 25 or 30 years, and he writes a lot of really neat songs, and I really like this one. It's called Yellowstone Winds. There's a star that's shining bright on the Teton Range tonight. There's a lonesome cloud that's flying out across the moon. There's a country song so sweet that reaches to the street through the hoots and hollers of an old run-down saloon. Yellowstone winds, well, they're calling me back again. Come here to me, my friend, they whisper out to my soul. Piney smoke in the frosty air, cattle grazing all around you there. Snowfields on the mountain fair lie silent in the cold. I can feel the morning sun and see that old Snake River run, and remember all the legends and the tales. Old Hoback's in my dreams as he wanders up his streams and stops to stand the mark beside the trail. Yellowstone winds, well, they're calling me back again. Come here to me, my friend, they whisper to my soul. Piney smoke in the frosty air, cattle grazing all around you there. Snowfields on the mountain fair lie silent in the cold. There's a young coyote that calls from the steep high country walls as she ranges in the shadows of the trees. With her cunning and her care, prospecting in the air, she searches for the scent upon the breeze. Yellowstone winds, well, they're calling me back again. Come here to me, my friend, they whisper to my soul. Piney smoke in the frosty air, cattle grazing all around you there. Snowfields on the mountain fair lie silent in the cold. There's a star that's shining bright on the Teton Range tonight. There's a lonesome cloud that's flying out across the moon. There's a country song so sweet that reaches to the street through the hoots and hollers of an old run-down saloon. Yellowstone winds, well, they're calling me back again. Come here to me, my friend, they whisper to my soul. Piney smoke in the frosty air, cattle grazing all around you there. Snowfields on the mountain fair lie silent in the cold. Thank you.
That's Matt Montaigne. All right. Next up, we've got a couple that play fairly well. They've been here 150 odd times. They're always welcome. They got their start with us, and they have pretty good harmonies. Here's Ann and Pete Sibley.
Yes.
That was so heavy. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hello. Pete just got back last night, and I was saying out there that I just dawned on me that he's still on Eastern Standard Time, so he's being a trooper for staying awake.
Well, I got used to waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time, so it's like waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning here, which wouldn't be so bad, but I'm usually a night person, so.
Is this even on? I asked Pete if he wouldn't mind that we sing this song because we played at a really neat festival a couple weeks ago, and it's a song that a band used to sing called Salamander Crossing, and someone had introduced us to this music, and it was something that was a recording we really loved. It was really important to us, and so 2 weeks ago at the festival we met part of this band, and that was really exciting. You'll have to look them up. They're called Ronnie Arbo and Daisy Mayhem, if you can remember that. But anyways, they're a great group of folks, and this is a song they used to sing, and it's called Thief. Thank you. That is one of my favorite songs out there. It was written by Jim McGinnis. I think maybe he's from Vermont.
Old Jim McGinnis. What a lad. I don't know Jim, but I'm sure he's quite a lad.
It's kind of stout.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vermont.
Yes, speaking of Vermont, I got to spend a week on a farm back in Vermont. That's where I was while I got myself acclimated to East Coast time. And had a really neat opportunity to be in conversation with some folks who are kind of in the social justice and land conservation movement, and kind of in dialogue about what does it all mean and how does one thing help the other thing, and how are we working towards kind of exciting communities. So I got to lead one time. One of our things that we were going to do together as a group is we were going to walk through the typical New England hayfield to this beautiful apple tree that was sitting out in the middle of the field, and surrounded by Vermont woods that are just on the verge of starting to turn, so some yellows and a little bit of reds. And the leader said, Pete, would you walk us out there playing the banjo? And I was like, sure, that's great. So I got to trickle along in the banjo, and we were walking in silence, and we got there and kind of talked through some stuff sitting under this beautiful apple tree. And the leader again said, well, we got a little time. Pete, would you lead us in the song? And so this song popped into my head. It's a song that Ann and I get to do. It was made popular by the Carter families, but it's been sung in churches and gatherings all over the place. So if you want to join in, please join in. The words are very simple, and you'll pick them up real quick, and I'm sure you'll recognize the song. So here we go.
Sow it on the mountain, reap it in the valley. Sow it on the mountain, reap it in the valley. You're gonna reap just what you sow.
Now that's your part each time it comes around.
If you've been a liar, you better quit your lying. If you've been a liar, you better quit your lying. If you've been a liar, you better quit your lying. You're gonna reap just what you sow. Here we go. Sow it on the mountain, reap it in the valley. Sow it on the mountain, reap it in the valley. Sow it on the mountain, reap it in the valley. You're gonna reap just what you sow. Cause you sow it on the mountain, reap it in the valley. Yeah, sow it on the mountain, reap it in the valley. Sow it on the mountain, reap it in the valley. You're gonna reap just what you sow, yes.
Ann and Pete Sibley. I don't know if that first song put chills up and down my back. Boy, gorgeous. And you can't hear me?
It's okay.
Talk more than whispering.
Talking more? Is it there? Okay, I just got to get louder. Louder? Yeah, speaking up. It's Ann and Pete Sibley. All right, next up, we've got a fellow that's been here for 445 times. This is Mr. John Cook.
Not cutting out, is it, like it did the other week? We hope not. A little more. There we go. Well, I was looking over my list for Jimmy Rogers songs for ones that I don't do quite as often as some others. And this one jumped out at me. Last night as I lay on the boxcar, just waiting for a train to pass by, what will become of the hobo whenever our time comes to die? Will the master up yonder in heaven have a place that we might call our home? Will we have to work for a living, or can we continue to roam? Will there be any freight trains in heaven, any boxcars in which we might hide? Will there be any tough cops or brakemen? Will they tell us that we cannot ride? Will the hobo chum with the rich man? Will we always have money to spare? Will they have respect for the hobo in the land that lies hidden up there? Boxcars in which we might hide? Will there be any tough cops or brakemen? Will they tell us that we cannot ride? Will the hobo chum with the rich man? Will we always have money to spare? Will they have respect for the hobo in the land that lies hidden up there? Idee-ole, ole, idee-ole, hey, ole. Thank you. We're going to get a little assistance up here. Jack Salee and Dave and Kathy McCann. If they're, I hope they're still in the house because we worked up a little something upstairs. Here they come. I see shadows moving in the shadows. Blue shadows on the trail. Well, this was another one of those things where I had in mind that I'd get Jack, and I started playing the song. Dave and Kathy were there, and we had a band before you knew it. We're doing it today, yes. Don't stand way back there in the corner. We're all going to sing. This song is Buck Owens' song. Comes back from the time when every time he released a record, it just went straight to number one. And lived in Bakersfield, California, and in those days they called it Buckersfield. And grammatically incorrect, though it may be, the name of the tune is Where Does the Good Times Go? And we're going to turn it around to the 5, kind of like... Where does the good times go? Where does the river flow? Where does the north wind blow? Where does the good times go? Lips that used to burn with love now are cold beneath my touch. Still I love you oh so much. Where does the good times go? Where does the good times go? Where does the river flow? Where does the north wind blow? Where does the good times go? Arms that used to hold me tight, eyes that shone with love so bright, now it changed like day to night. Where does the good times go? Where does the good times go? Where does the river flow? Where does the north wind blow? Where does the good times go? Where does the good times go? Where does the river flow? Where does the north wind blow? Where does the good times go? Let's do that one more time with all those voices. Where does the good times go? Where does the river flow? Where does the north wind blow? Where does the good times go? And where does the good times go? Dave and Kathy McCann, Jackson Lee, thank you. Super.
All right, that's John Cook and his orchestra there. And we'll next come up with this ballad singer, and he does a wonderful job of it. Here's Dick Barker.
I thought I would do a couple songs tonight about ropes. And actually, first song that John did, the Jimmy Rogers song, made me think of this one. Usually, we'll try to wait a couple of months before we do a song over. I did this song during the third round a couple of weeks ago. So my apologies to the 6 people who were here. We'll try it again. Across the high Sierras came an SP passenger train. The hobos tried to ride her, they found 'twas all in vain. The conductor took the tickets and he counted every soul. The engineer looked straight ahead and the fireman shoveled coal. Now the fireman was a cowboy, but do not think it strange. He could make more money a shoveling coal than a riding on the range. Though he was a fireman and though he had to sweat, he still remained a Western guy 'cause he kept his lariat. The train was way behind the time and the passengers all were wild. When on the track a sudden there strolled a little child. Her golden hair in ringlets was a-hanging down her back. She little knew her danger great as she strolled along the track. My God, the hoghead shouted as he slammed on all the brakes. I'll never stop this SP train 'cause I ain't got what it takes. Oh, heaven help that wee tot, he cried in accents wild. Can nothing stop this SP train and save that little child? Up jumped the cowboy fireman, and a gallant lad was he. Now I will save that baby if I wreck the whole SP. He jumped out on the running boards with tears, his eyes were wet. And in his hand our hero had his trusty lariat. He quickly dropped the fast loop round a pole beside the track. He tied the other end of it around the big smokestack. He jerked that train right off the rails. He caused an awful wreck. Our hero lay there in the ditch with the engine on his neck. Now we will all remember that 45th day of May. There were many gallant hearts all filled with fear that day. We buried that poor fireman where the chilly winds blow a wild. He killed 200 passengers, but thank God he saved that child. It's called Trusty Lariat. That was written by Mac McClintock. That's the man who wrote Big Rock Candy Mountains and some of the other old bum songs back in the 1920s. I learned a lot of the songs I do from Singin' Sam Agins. And this is a song I believe Singin' Sam wrote. We were heading for the bunkhouse on a long and easy lope when I questioned my companion why he used a rawhide rope. Says he, "'Tis been my habit since the days of long ago when it saved my worthless carcass from a mob in Idaho. They mistook me for a hoss thief, though 'twas much against my will. They tied my hands and took me to a tree-clad hill. I could hear the mob crying, for your crimes you gotta die. The stormy wind came sighing and the lightning split the sky. And they took my rawhide lasso to a tall, tall tree. They looped my neck and hoisted till my feet did swing free. Words are up there somewhere. John Cook assured me they were up there somewhere. Well, something Henley beat it for the town. The stormy wind came sighing, and the lightning and the rain did come down. Oh, the pain was racking, wrenching. I was gasping like a wretch. The rope received a drenching, and the strands began to stretch, till my feet touched terra firma, no longer trod the air. With my teeth I loosed the lasso, and I ran away from there. Had they strung me with Manila, there'd have been no further hope, which is why, my dear young feller, I prefer a rawhide rope.
Dick Barker. Oh, tales in song. Ballads, they call them. All right. Hey, next up, this guy has cowboy and western songs down pat. He does a wonderful job of presenting them. Here is Greg Keckler.
Thank you. I thought I would do this song for no other reason than I don't think you've heard this one, Jack. I played a few new songs this summer. I don't think Jack's heard this one, so I thought I'd do it for fun, because I like it. Now, if I had a horse, a big, white, flashy horse, I wouldn't be the kind of guy that I appear to be. Well, I'd be different, I'd be better, a hero right down to the letter, and all them pretty women would be after me. 'Cause I'd be Tom Mix, I'd be the Lone Ranger, I'd be John Wayne, I'd be the tall dark stranger. I could ride into danger, 'cause I'd be brave, of course. People would look up to me, 'cause I'd be something that they could aspire to be. And this would all be possible if I just had a horse. And if I had a hat, a 10-gallon Stetson hat, well, I would look so sharp all my friends would be amazed. 'Cause I could tip it to the ladies. My nose would always be shaded, and underneath the brim I'd have a Gary Cooper gaze. 'Cause I'd be Tom Mix, I'd be the Lone Ranger, I'd be Lash LaRue, I'd be the tall dark stranger. I could save any widow's ranch in about 8 seconds flat. You know, people would look up to me, 'cause I'd be something that they could aspire to be. And this would all be possible if I just had a hat. Now, clothes and trappings don't make a man, I know that's the way it's always gonna be. But they can bring out the hero inside, buddy, that's good enough for me. And if I had some boots, they'd go so well with my buckskin suit. I could walk into places I never ever dared to go. With my firm and manly stride, mean guys would just step aside, and I'd be admired by folks I don't even know. 'Cause I'd be Gene Autry, I'd be Roy Rogers, I'd have a sidekick who's an old codger. I could chase down robbers and I could recover the loot. You know, people would look up to me, 'cause I'd be something that they could aspire to be, and this would all be possible if I just had some boots. 'Cause I'd be Tom Mix, I'd be the Lone Ranger, I'd be John Wayne, I'd be the tall dark stranger. I could ride into danger, 'cause I'd be brave, of course. People would look up to me, 'cause I'd be something that they could aspire to be, and this would all be possible if I just had a horse. This would all be possible if I just had a horse. You heard that before, Jack? Right now? Here's an old Western song, one of my favorite, that comes from one of my favorite cowgirls, Miss Dinah Shore. Every day along about evening, when the sunlight's beginning to fail, I ride to the slumbering shadows along the Navajo Trail. When it's twilight and crickets are calling and coyotes are making a wail, I dream by a smoldering fire along the Navajo Trail. I love to lie and listen to the music while the wind is strumming a sagebrush guitar, while over yonder hill the moon is climbing. It always finds me wishing on a star. What do you know? It's morning already. There's a dawning so silver and pale. It's time to climb into my saddle and ride the Navajo Trail. Listen to the music while the wind is strumming a sagebrush guitar, while over yonder hill the moon is climbing. It always finds me wishing on a star. What do you know? It's morning already. There's a dawning so silver and pale. It's time to climb into my saddle and ride the Navajo Trail. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, he has got a horse. He's got the hat, and he's got the boots. Greg Keckler. And next up, we got our storyteller. He has stories about Jackson Hole that never end. I don't know what he's got for us tonight, but he sometimes puts them in song. Here's Jack Hyler.
Yeah, Jack!
Well, that was an invitation to tell a story. This song I'm going to sing, the first song, is an old cowboy song, Zebra Dun. It's about a horse, a zebra dun, a dun horse with black lines on it. My dad rode a zebra dun named Teton. He'd been a stallion with a wild herd up in Montana before he was trained. And he had scars down on his withers on both sides, and we guessed that a mountain lion had jumped off a ledge or a rock or a tree on him, and he'd shaken it off, because there were rake marks right down there. And as long as that horse lived, and he was pretty gentle, but as long as he lived, if you dropped your handkerchief, your kerchief, he'd hit it before it hit the ground. Just bam! If anybody had ever fallen off him, he'd have killed him without meaning to. Now this zebra dun would like to. It's a long song for a fine final line. We were camped up on the plains at the head of the Cimarron, when along comes a stranger and he stopped to argue some. He looked so kind of foolish we begun to look around. Thought he was a tenderfoot and not a gent from town. Yeah, we'd asked if he'd had chuck. He hadn't had a smear, so he opened up the chuck box and made him take his share. He filled up on some coffee and some biscuits and some beans. And then he began to talk about them foreign kings and queens, about the Spanish War and all the fighting on the seas, with guns as big as steers and ramrods as big as trees, about old Paul Jones, the mean fighting son of a gun, just about the grittiest cuss that ever packed a gun. Such an educated feller, his thoughts come out in herds, and he astonished all them cowboys with his jaw-breaking words. But he just kept on talking till the boys, they all got sick, and they got a gun looking around to see if they could play a trick. He said that he had lost his job upon the Santa Fe, and he was trying to cross the range to make the 7D. He didn't say had some trouble with the boss, but he asked if he could borrow a nice fat saddle horse. This tickled the boys near half to death. They laughed way down their sleeves. They said, we'll lend you a cayuse just as fresh and fat as you please. Shorty grabbed his lariat and he roped old zebra dun and turned him over the stranger, and we waited for the fun. Now Duddy Rocky Outlaw had grown so awful wild, he could pull the white right out of the moon whenever he got riled. But he stood right still and waited like as if he didn't know, till a stranger had him saddled and all ready for to go. When the stranger hit the saddle, then old Dunny quit the earth and started traveling upward for all he was worth, a pitching and a squealing and a having wall-eyed fits, his hind feet perpendicular and his front ones in the bits. We could see the tops of Tetons under Dunny every jump, but the stranger, he was growed there just like a camel's hump. The stranger, he sat on him and he curled his black mustache, just like a summer boarder a-waiting for his hash. Now the boss, who had been standing around a watching of the show, he walked up to the stranger and he said, you needn't go. If you can throw a lasso like you rode old zebra dun, why, you're the feller I've been looking for ever since the year '01. Now he could throw a lasso, and he didn't do it slow. He could rope them 4 feet 9 or 10 for any kind of dough. And when the herd stampeded, he was always on the spot and set them all to milling like the boiling of the pot. Now this stranger's name was Greg. He's been with us since that day. He can rope and ride and bulldog and on a guitar play. And there's one thing on the sure thing I've learned since I was born. Every educated feller ain't a plum greenhorn. Thank you, Jack. Now, Patty's going to try to get me out of a jam. Patty and I have been wanting to do something together.
For years.
Together for a long time, but the trouble is I don't do music. Last week I was back in Boston for a few days, and every time I crossed the Charles River I thought of John and John Cook, and I guess John stepped out of the room. That's too bad. All right, John, do you know Daddy is a Yale man?
No.
Oh, shoot, I was going to get you to come and sing it with me. But every time I went across there, I'd think of this, some song from that period I could say, all right, you'll hear.
Would you like your note?
Key, you want one? As the New Haven train left Grand Central, a long young, let's try it again. As the New Haven train left Grand Central, a young girl stepped on with her kids. She said, I'm not grieving, I just come to leave it because this burg's about on the skids. Said the kids to each other, what's got into mother, that we should be riding this train. And as they reached the sticks, this brave mother of 6 took a drink and began to explain. Maybe we can't do this, Patty.
We're doing it.
All right. Oh, Daddy is a Yale man. We may be married soon. They're known for red, so we may pitch a tent in the backyard of Boris Saloon. Though home is where the heart is, you can't hang your heart on a nail. So we're thinking of leasing a Quonset or Nissan to do Daddy while Mommy does Yale. When the train had pulled out of New Haven, this family was still all inside, for a Harvard fellow had got her so mellow that she was exquisitely fried. Said the kids to each other, what's got into Mother that we should be still on this train? Said their ma with a grin as she killed off the gin and uncertainly tried to explain. Though Daddy is a Yale man and Yale bowl sounds divine, I don't think so much of a tin rabbit hutch that's been perched on the 50-yard line. This fine young man from Harvard has a treehouse at home that's for sale. So we're going to get lost in that wild town of Boston. And to hell with your daddy at Yale. To hell with your daddy at Yale. I should have known better. Margaret was forever saying that to me. You should know better. Thank you, Patty.
That's Jack Hyler. Storyteller. All right, we got our harmonica player. He plays the blues. He does it real well. Please welcome John Kozlowski.
Thank you. This first one is a Bessie Smith song, though I have to admit I first heard it from David Bromberg. It's a confession. Speaking of confession. Judge, judge, good kind judge, won't you send me to the electric chair? Judge, Your Honor, hear my plea before you open up your court. I'm not looking for any sympathy. I really cut my good man's throat. I caught him with a gambling Jane. I'd warned him about her before. I had my knife. I went insane. The rest you ought to know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, judge, judge, good kind judge, won't you send me to the electric chair? Judge, judge, good Mr. Judge, let me get away from here. I want to take a journey to the devil down below. I cut up my good man, I gotta reap what I sow. So come on, judge, judge, good kind judge, won't you send me to the electric chair? Judge, good judge, good kind judge, send me to that electric chair. Judge, judge, send me that judge, oh, I love him so dear. Well, I cut him with my Barlow, then I kicked him in the side. I stood over him laughing while he waddled round and died. So judge, judge, good kind judge, won't you send me to the electric chair? Judge, judge, good kind judge, send me to the electric chair. Judge, judge, good kind judge, well, burn me 'cause I don't care. I don't want no bondsman to go my bail, and I don't want to spend my life in your stinking jail. So come on, judge, judge, good kind judge, oh, send me to the electric chair. Oh, let me get away from here. Oh, I love him so dear. I know we'll be together down there. Thank you. They just don't write them like that anymore, do they?
Nobody else sings them like that either.
All right. It's good. Sometimes you got to change keys. You got to change positions, stand up, sitting down. This one's more of a, well, when I sit down, I like to think of them as porch songs. Well, I don't want no woman. If her hair ain't no longer than mine. I said I don't want no woman. You know, if her hair ain't longer than mine. She's good for nothing but trouble, people. She keep me buying them rats all the time. You know what I'm talking about? Some of you have heard this before. Now, a rat is a term for a wig. And you can imagine if there was a wig sitting over there in the corner with the light barely on it, and you think that it's a rat. You know, I took my wife to the hairdresser. This is what the hairdresser said. I can't do nothing for her head, Johnny, but Lord knows I can grease her head. I said, oh, no, no. You know, her hair ain't no longer than mine. She ain't good for nothing but trouble, people. She keep me buying them rats all the time. You know, I got on the good side of my woman. I said, darling, let's have some fun. I threw my arm around her neck, you know, that rat jumped off her head like it was running from a burning barn. I don't want no woman. You know, if her hair ain't longer than mine. She's good for nothing but trouble. She keep me buying them rats, buying them rats, buying them rats all the time. She said I was not good looking. She said she didn't like my personality at all. I said, well, give back the wigs I bought you, darling. Let your doggone head go bald. I don't want that woman. She had the nerve to leave me. She had the nerve to say we're done. When I put hair upon her head, and you know the good Lord never give her none. woke up this morning, people, just about the break of day. You know, there was a rat on the pillow where my baby's head used to lay. Oh, no, no, no. You know what I had? They were no longer to mine. She kept me buying them rats. She kept me buying them rats. Buying rats all the time. Thank you very much.
John Kozlowski. We have a featured act tonight. But having said that, it reminds me of a line I actually heard Lester Flatt of the great bluegrass group Flatt and Scruggs say. We opened for them at a show in Boston in about 1963. And afterwards, a guy in a business suit came backstage and he came up to Lester Flatt and he said, "I really liked your act." And Lester said, "It's no act, buddy, it's real." So this is no act, this is real. John Carney, you know. Pete Carney, some of you, it may be getting a little dim because you see, Pete moved to the other side of the world. And when Pete lived in Wyoming, in his, I have to say, wild youth, there were moments, perhaps days, when some of us who ran across him in those days wondered if he was worth the trouble. But, you know, he settled down. He met a beautiful woman, and he loved her so much that he moved to her native country on the other side of the world. Took a sea voyage of months, and, you know, now they have 3 beautiful children, and what can you say about a guy that comes halfway around the world to play at the Hootenanny? What can you say about a guy that turns down the chance to be featured at Steve Irwin's memorial, and he comes instead to play at the Hootenanny, you know? I mean, you gotta love him. So God love them, here they are. Make them welcome, John and Pete Carney, the fabulous Carney Boys.
Thank you. Thank you. We actually are going to be joined by a couple more people. Pete came all the way from Australia, but this fella coming up on the stage here, this good-looking specimen here is Colin Bruce, and he and I went to Stanford together many years ago, and he put up hay on our ranch, and we rode bucking horses in the Pinedale Rodeo until we got busted up enough to know better. And then we got Hank Phibbs here, who is he's like the other Carney brother when Pete's not around, and so we need to get that. Let's get the music stand.
He's a Carney boy with hair.
We need some memory. Yeah, right, exactly. And then we got this guy. He does have hair. This guy is one of those beautiful children that Pete has. This is my godson, Pete's son, Joe Carney. And Joe, you've played here before, haven't you? Yeah. Yeah. He's an old hand at the Hoot. And
We have to be especially obnoxious tonight because our wives came.
You want to get in the booth.
Jane came all the way to Australia to be humiliated here by her husband. We have one of those interracial marriages. She's Australian, I'm gringo.
Move that bass, goddammit.
I gotta be outside.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah, you gotta get in the middle.
Really? Okay.
Good
Can we
boy.
do that again?
No, it's all right.
Shall we dance?
I can't no good me seeing your
No, what about getting you into the mic?
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Is that they get to hear me all the time.
It's all right. Yeah, that's all
We want to
right.
make sure they can hear you tonight. So we're just gonna. This is like a half an hour of complete wild and craziness, and
Believe me,
featuring-
it's
he's-
improv.
He's the straight man, and I'm the funny one.
Right.
Right. Yeah. You can tell. And Colin's going to be playing his vintage spoons from the back here. And Colin, you might have to get a little closer when it comes to singing a harmony. Okay.
Spoons go back to the
He's
60s.
kind of shy.
Yeah, right.
All right.
This is a Mexican song. This is the one that
Got to start off with a
Right.
Mexican tune.
And it go like this. Allá en el rancho grande, allá donde viví. Ya. Que había una rancherita que alegre me decía, te voy a hacer tus calzones como mi potento, como los que usa el ranchero. Te las comienza de lana. ¿Qué pasa, mi compadre? Y los sacamos de cuero allá en el rancho grande, allá donde viví. Yeah. Que había una rancherita que alegre me decía, el gusto de oír los rancheros.
Dígame.
Para tener su buen caballo y apretarle bien la silla y correrlo por el llano, allá en el rancho grande, allá donde viví.
Uy, uy, uy.
Que había una rancherita que alegre me decía, ay, chila, te vas a celar, pero ¿qué decía mi compadre, pues?
Isn't it good to have him back again? The thing I love about Pete is he's actually having more fun than any of you are. You know? He laughs at his own jokes. He has, I mean, how can, Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think, Jack? What are we going to do tonight? This.
You want me to pick the camming song?
We might have to slip that one in for Jack, but right now we got another one. Just a little bit offensive. This was actually a song that was very near and dear to our late father, and Big O loved this song, especially if there were like feminist women in the room. And do we have any of those? I see a couple. I see our spouses over there, for starters. Anyway, this is a song that is sure to offend those sensibilities.
Right.
Yeah, and it's got a great spoon part on it. It's kind of upbeat. Well, you uppity women, I can't understand why you gotta go and act like a man. Well, before you make your weekly visit to the shrink, you better occupy the kitchen and liberate the sink. Get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bed. That's what I do, my baby said. Women's liberation is going to your head. Get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bed. Now, every morning you're out on the street, passing out pamphlets to everyone you meet. Well, you gave up, you made form for land, and now the front of your dress has an air scoop vent. Get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bed. That's what I do, my baby said. Women's liberation is going to your head. Get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bed. Well, now, you're so damn emancipated in your mind and your body, I'm gonna have to cancel all your lessons in karate. And if you can't love a male chauvinist, you better cross me off of your shopping list. Get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bed. That's what I do, my baby said. Women's liberation is going to your head.
Get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bed.
What do you think, Pete? If they had enough, or do we need some more? I think we need some more. But you said, you mean-minded harpies, you're breaking all the laws, tearing up your girdles and tearing up your bras. Well, the air is dirty, but the sex is clean. And your coffee makes my hair turn green. Get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bed. That's what I do, my baby said. Women's liberation isn't going to your head. Get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bed. Yeah. You know what I want, baby.
Respect.
Oh, yeah, respect. Exactly. Next, we're going to do Sensitive New Age Guy. No, just kidding. Just kidding. What would you do if we did a really tasteful, sensitive New Age Guy song? Like, how about Night Rider's Lament? That's a beautiful song, isn't it? Okay, this is a song that's been played at the Hoot on numerous occasions, but Pete decided to twist it in his own twisted way, and so this is what came out. And what's it called, Pete?
It's called The Night Whiner's Lament. This is about, well, it's loosely based on an incident that happened to Matt Miller and I at the Lee J's All-Night Eatery, which is where we all went after a cheery evening and tried to sober up. And there's a reference to walking down the Great Divide, which is doing the drunk test. But, and also there's a casual reference to Bill Briggs in this song. This is where the old and the new West collide. One night after drinking in Jackson, we did the late night shift at Lee J's till dawn, with some kids sitting at the next table, sniveling in their eggs all night long. And I asked them, why do you whine about money when you're throwing a frisbee all day to a fat dog named Bear with a rag on your hair? Well, you must have gone lazy out here. Then the kid says, I wake up and I look out the window. Nope, ain't no jobs out there. This high cost of living is a bummer, dude. And I think we just drank our last beer. And I asked him, why do you whine about money with that beautiful girl sitting there? She ain't getting nowhere, but I can't help but stare. Has she met any cowboys out here? 'Cause you're missing the part about the northern lights. Getting high and getting drunk ain't everything. You'll have to walk for the cops down the Great Divide. And you won't get to hear old Bill Briggs sing. Yodelay, 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 yodelay. Well, we ate up the last of them biscuits, and I rolled out a few bucks for the tip. I could tell that we'd hurt their little feelings, but they didn't want to give us cowboys no shit. So they just said, why do you ride for the money? Why do you rope for short pay? You ain't getting nowhere and you're losing your hair. Well, you cowboys are all crazy out there. Yodelay, 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 hi, yodelay, 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 dee, hi, yodelay.
Oh, yeah. How we doing? Hey. Yeah, like that. God.
Goodness.
When we were growing up, we played around the campfire. Like, he didn't have this thing back then.
No.
In fact, we barely had it tonight. I went to look for it, and it was gone, and that's a hard thing to lose.
They'd moved it to higher ground when they found out I was in town.
Right. They thought we better make this thing safe for the rest of you. But anyway, we used to play a lot of the songs of our era, which Pete and I are in an advanced stage now of Alzheimer's or whatever. But this, this is an old Everly Brothers tune. And watch Pete closely when he plays the bass on this one, okay? Because he has no clue what these chords are, okay? They go by pretty quickly. And anyway, we're going to help him get through this, though, okay?
No, I'm really worried.
I know. I told him it was just A, D, G, E. You know, there's like 4 open strings on that thing.
problem.
Those are the strings. Okay, it goes like this. Johnny is a joker, he's a bird, a very funny joker, he's a bird. But when he jokes my honey, he's a dog, his joking ain't so funny, oh what a dog. Johnny is a joker that's trying to steal my baby, he's a bird dog. Johnny sings a love song like a bird. He sings the sweetest love song you ever heard. But when he sings to my girl gal, what a dog. To me, he's just like a wolf dog on the prowl. Johnny is a joker that's trying to steal my baby. He's a bird dog. Hey, bird dog, get away from my quail. Hey, bird dog, you're on the wrong trail. Bird dog, you better find a lovey-dovey of your own. Hey, bird dog, better get away from my chick. Hey, bird dog, better get away quick. Bird dog, you better find a chicken little of your own. Now, here's the sad verse. Johnny is the teacher, he's a dog. He tiptoed up to reach her, he's a dog. Well, he's a teacher's pet now, oh, what a dog. What he wants he can get now, he's a dog. He even made the teacher let him sit next to my baby, he's a bird dog. Hey, bird dog, get away from my quail. Hey, bird dog, you're on the wrong trail. Bird dog, you better find a lovey-dovey of your own. Hey, bird dog, get away from my chick. Hey, bird dog, better get away quick. Bird dog, you better find a chicken little of your own. One more. All right, yeah, that was a little rough around the edges, but that's the thing about the Carney Boys. Are we really the Carney Boys? Aren't we a little old for that? Anyway, that's the thing about us is that it's a little rough. As John said, it's the real thing. It's like you're watching the rehearsal. Okay. All right, what do we got here? Oh, Pete's got another really inspired piece of brilliance here. You know, now that he lives in a foreign country, and this is in the key of E. Bring back the wild. Yeah, it goes from the B to the B.
There's been a lot of talk about reintroducing animals around town, and here, this is a little tongue-in-cheek look at another animal we ought to, or thing, wild creature we should reintroduce here. And it go like this. Well, they say the old West is dead and gone. Now the fight's on to save what's left and right the wrong. They brought back the wolves and the grizzly bear. They got 1% of the buffalo still roaming there. But you can't put a Band-Aid on Wounded Knee. And the Indians are still mad and they got every right to be. Because if the greenies get their way, all you're gonna see is the home of the raven, the land of the tree. So let's reintroduce the wild Indian who says that's the last of the Mohicans. Running Bear loves little white dudes to chase through the forest in their hiking boots. Burn up some oil rigs and kill a few cows. You can ride that snowmobile, but you might get scalped. A gentleman's ranch is a good place to raid, 'cause the yuppies won't fight, they be way too afraid. Well, half the world hates Americans. They'd love a chance to be wild Indians, but knowing how to use your fist won't get you on the endangered species list. But it won't be hard to find wild Indians. They come from Pontiac, Pine Ridge, and Gila Bend. They'll drop what they're doing to help their friends and rid the West of these pests that keep moving in. So let's reintroduce the wild Indian, just like on F Troop and Ren 1010. Running Bear loves the little white butts to shoot full of arrows in their jogging shorts. Or burn up some oil rigs and kill a few cows. Run to Butterville, but you might get scalped. A gentleman's ranch makes a good place to raid, 'cause the yuppies won't fight, they'll be way too afraid. Well, California's gone Mex-Indian. It's got the white folks wondering where they're gonna fit in. It's an uneasy truce, and it could get grim if Running Bear becomes a red Muslim.
Say he likes it.
Well, the white man thinks he knows it all, you see, but he can't look inside and see eternity. His spirit's there, but it can't be reached through the noise and the clutter that the TVs teach. Our browns have shut down their sensitivity. We're hardwired white, and that's no way to be, 'cause the answer's there lying underneath, with the spirit of the Indian wild and free.
Oh, man.
Too stupid.
So how are we doing now? God, how are we doing on time here? Okay, we started a little late, so, you know, we'll keep going till John gives us the hook. Okay. Well, what we're supposed to do, another original tune.
Yes, this is John's
That might
song.
be kind of challenging right now. You sure you want to take that one out?
No, it's great. This is John's song to his little son, Will. And the song is a little dated, actually, because Will is now a big strapping teenager.
Yeah, even though I wrote the song, I can't remember the lyrics, so this is sort of a problem. I don't know if any
That's
of you
good,
guys...
because I don't know how to play it.
I don't know if any of you guys have that problem of kind of forgetting things. Anyway, we definitely have that problem up here. But I wrote this song for Will when he was 4 years old, and he's now 17. And it is sort of prophetic, because I look in the song, we're looking forward and saying, what's he going to be like when he's a teen? Well, he's just like in the song, I think. So, anyway, it goes like this. Hold on. I lost my tuner. What the hell? Oh, that's bad.
Bad.
Just give me that.
Oh, these bluegrass musicians. It's the same thing every time.
Is that what you guys are?
That's what we are. That's what I used to be till they kicked me out of the band.
Kicked you out of the country.
Yeah, they did that too.
That's a good tuner. Okay. I think we got it. Thank you, Joe. Handy with the... It's kind of a Texas swing beat. This little guy, his name is Will. His Energizer's running still. From the moment he wakes up, he never ever stops. Running, singing, shouting, jumping all around the house. He's 5 years old but growing fast. I know this stage will never last. Still I wish somehow we could stop the clock right now and keep him just the way he is today. Little guy, we want to keep him just the way he is today. Little guy asking 20 questions, there's nothing that he doesn't want to know.
Little guy, eyes getting wider. Tell another story, please don't go. I'm sure you know what that was like. It's kind of sweet. This little guy, he's got it made. Star Wars and dinosaurs he plays. In imaginary worlds where there are never girls. Running, shouting, shooting, jumping, he makes all the rules. Sometimes he lets his sisters play. Rarely. They know he likes to get his way. Everything goes well till we hear one of them yell. We remember that he's just a little guy. We remember that he's just a little guy. Little guys getting wider, listening to the stories that I tell. Little guy lying behind me, hanging on every word I say. Oh, Joe, man. Smoke it there, baby. I don't think he's ever played this song before. Come on, Joe. Yeah, let's hear from Joe. Watch him now, it's hard to see what he'll become when he's a teen. Will Star Wars and dinosaurs give way to hot rod cars? Will football and a high school play replace the love he gives today? Who knows what bad will be the craze? Tattoos, blue hair, it's all the rage. But as we watch him grow, we're bound to want to know what happened to that little guy. What happened to our little guy? One more time, guys. What happened to that little guy? Woo. Thank you, thank you. He is now 17 years old, and by sort of proclamation, he would never show up at the Hoot tonight because A, he'd have to hear that song, which used to really embarrass him when he was in kindergarten, but is even worse now. He doesn't play football; he plays soccer and lacrosse. Yeah, he plays more intelligent sport, I'm sure. So. All right, what do we got, Pete? I think we got to bring Pete back on for a little spoof on our community. This is a song about real estate in Jackson Hole.
Yes.
Wait, we didn't do the song already. No, okay, yeah.
Yes, it's to take off the old Jackson song by June Carter and Johnny Cash. And June Carter sits behind her J-Pan fan. If you remember that song. Anyway, well, if you didn't, you don't.
Pete, there's a lot of blank looks out there.
I know, it's sort of like I'm trying to teach a dog to type out here. Anyway. No,
what key is it in?
C. I think that is C. Well, California's sick with a fever. They're all getting out. They've been coming to Jackson, see what Western life's all about. They've all moved to Jackson just to fix their health. They're gonna snowball Jackson, spread around the wealth. When they come out of them cities, talking dude and saying, wow. All the local boys will see their brand new toys and forget about chasing cows. Now they've gone to Jackson just to mess around. They're gonna build up Jackson. Look out, Jackson Town. And then June Carter gonna, well, go ahead ahead and go to Jackson, you big dude-talking man. Get a 10-gallon hat and a gentleman's wrench. Make a big fool out of yourself. Yeah, go to Jackson. You do talking squares. Yeah, go ahead and go to Jackson. Might even catch me there. Now Jackson got the same fever. The traffic's backing up with a bunch of crazy fools wearing turquoise jewels, and the price keeps going up and up. They've all come to Jackson just to see if they can. The land's too high in Jackson, even for a J-Pan man. You go ahead and go to Jackson just to see if you can.
Okay. We're gonna come to because we're gonna
Chickens run away?
Yeah. This is gonna be the last song. Well, you can bring us back for an encore. In fact, it would be we'd really be offended if you didn't. So. Wow. It's hot up here. Okay, so, but this song is going to have a really amazing chorus. Again, Colin, you're going to jump into this.
Oh,
aren't you?
Yeah.
I got a big voice. Yeah, he's got a big voice. He's hiding it out back there.
Don't hear me.
Okay, you guys know all the chords of this? Key A minor? What's that one about? What's key? It's a B?
It's in B, but it'll be flat when we get down to it.
This one's an A, but it'll be flat when we get done with it too. Actually, that would have gone up from A to B flat. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's get music theory here. All right. Apologies to Del Shannon. As I walked along, I wondered what went wrong with our love, a love that was so strong. As I think of you, I think of the things we've done together when our hearts were young. I'm a-walking in the rain, tears are falling and I feel the pain, wishing you were here by me to end this misery, and I wonder, why she ran away, and I wonder where she will stay. My little runaway, run, 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 run away. All right, take it, chorus now. I'm a-walking in the rain, it's falling and I feel the pain, wishing you were here by me to end this misery, and I wonder why she went away, and I wonder where she will stay. My little runaway, run, 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 run away, run, 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 run away, run, 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 run away. Get back here, you little chicken. Thank you. This is where we have to get off. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. we've got a request for a camping song, and then we have another idea. So if you'll indulge us, we cannot. I always do what Jack Heiler asked me to do.
We gotta get Bill.
Yeah. Bill, do you know the camping song?
You know the camping song? No, we'll do.
Do you have finger picks? No, it's. Look, Bill is sitting right there. He runs this place. If he didn't want us to play, do you have your picks? Oh, thank you. Okay. How did you get those?
They're mine.
Oh, okay. Now look, Hank, if you ever go hiking, be with Hank. He's the best guy to have around. You get a cramp, he's got potassium. I mean, that guy is like the consummate Boy Scout. And by the way, he's running for office. He'll be just as good in office as he is on a camping trip. How's that, Hank? Is that a good endorsement? This is pretty much a blues in E. This is about my favorite thing, Hank, camping. Well, now I got a woman, she loves to camp. She camps when it's sunny, she camps when it's damp. All she needs is a tent and a sleeping roll, a package of hot dogs and a sack of charcoal. She camps in the summer, she camps in the snow. She says, baby, come with me. I say no. 'Cause I like hot showers and I like ice. The cool cotton sheets on my bed feel so nice. I hate little animals, can't stand big bugs. I like the feel of my feet on a Berber rug. I hate Porta Sands and community soap. I say, baby, stay with me. She says no. I say, why deprive yourself of the creature comforts? It's taken man so long to invent. She said something about Walden throwing back to Woodstock, living her life in a tent, and then she went, oh. Out there with the wolves and the bears and the Indians, apparently. Well, I can picture her now by a babbling brook, slapping that mosquito slipping bait on a hook. I can see the bear sniffing around for something to steal. I said, bear, steal a hot dog, don't make my baby your meal. The whole scenario would give me such a fright to think she could have been with me tonight. Where my air conditioner makes a real cool breeze, not unlike the wind whistling through the trees. I got stars on my ceiling, they glow in the dark. I open up the windows, hear the birds in the park. I put Wild Kingdom on my TV. Well, this might not be camping, but it's pretty close. I get as primitive as I can be. This might not be camping, but it's good enough for me. Thank you, Jack. We always have to sing that. Now, what is the bluegrass stuff? Oh, Mule Skinner blues. Okay, we are going to do a...
We're gonna do one last song.
We're going to put Pete right in the middle here.
Gonna do the Dolly Parton imitation?
Dolly Parton. How do we do it with the baby? Get the thing out of the way.
Get the thing out of the way.
Oh,
take your hat off for crying out loud.
They wouldn't know now, would they?
Yeah.
Jeez. Is that disgusting or what? Are there any children here? Jeez.
Okay, this one's a G, fellers. Good morning, Captain. Morning to you, sir. Do you need a new mule skinner out on your new mud line? You're well, I'm an old mule skinner from down home Tennessee way. I can make any mule listen, and I won't accept no pay. No pay, no way. You're all right.
All right, hey. Go, Captain. Hey.
Said, hey, little water boy, won't you bring that bucket around? If you don't like your job, lay that bucket down. You're
some lungs on that guy, huh? I can't keep up with him. Thank you very much.
Set list. The fabulous Carney Boys. You thought the fabulous Baker Boys were wild. Well, now you know. We have other musicians signed up on this list, and we have our favorite bartender, Russ, is back from his vacation, so you can go out and get something from him. We'll take a short break. We have, after the break, Alan Morton, Buffalo Grass, Brian Snyder, the McCanns, Dave and Kathy are here, and Mark Memmer. And we have features coming up. We're beginning to fill in the fall schedule here so that you won't all drift away with the leaves. October 2nd, Ryan Foxley, who used to play with Doug Woody. There was a Woody and Foxley act for a while, but Ryan has played as a sideman with a lot of people. He did a featured set of his own about 3 years ago, and we figure he's overdue. He's going to be moving to Washington State, so we're lucky to get him October 2nd. And the very next week, Buffalo Grass with special guest, a friend of Jack Sallee's from Tennessee who has not been here before, a guitar player named Mark White, who is supposed to be pretty hot. We're trying to get another feature somewhere in the last couple of Mondays in October. We are running right through October, up to and including October 30th, the last Monday in October. And then we'll take 5 Mondays off, and we'll come back December 11th with a featured set from Jim Charlier, the wonderful guitarist from down in Boulder, Colorado. So keep an eye on the paper and keep coming to the Hoot. Right now we'll give you a 10-minute break.